And so allow me to address Pipa right now. We, after the injury, as our fans and our club saw, is that we evolved and we had to move away from certain style of play that was more about possession based. And as everyone saw, we had some success with being a little bit more transition oriented and counter pressing and what we're calling sort of being decisive and relentless on both sides of the ball. And so we've decided that we are not going to continue having conversations with his group in terms of a contract for next season. There are, again, many factors that went into it, but primarily it was due to the change that we see in this club and the style of play. That said, I want to thank Pipa and on behalf of our club and our ownership group, and really thank Pipa for everything that he has been for this club. He is an absolute legend. He's respected from top to bottom in our organization. These decisions we don't take lightly. In my time being in the league, it's one of the hardest decisions we've ever had to make, or I've had to make personally. Obviously, there are professional conversations, and what we tried to do with people was tell him early, weeks ago, so that there was time to prepare. It's not something we wanted to wait until the very end of the year so that he was caught off guard. Doesn't mean that he's going to be happy about it, but we as a club need to make decisions to put this club on the proper trajectory to be a consistent contender, and some of it has to do with the profile of our players, the age of our players, their strengths in terms of how we want to play the game. And we feel like we noticed that shift mid-year, especially in the sort of the later parts of the summer.
How did you come to that decision just to not continue negotiations with Higuain? Also, was there any discussion for him to stay with the club in a different role that didn't involve him playing?
Yeah, we're going to continue having conversations with people about his role with the club. He is always welcome here. We would certainly entertain and have already talked to him about a role in the front office or in the academy or in the coaching ranks. We have an open mind about that. We do believe we need to have former players involved with this club. I think you've seen that already with our bringing on Dante Washington and David Winter, and we're going to make another announcement with the academy hopefully soon about different coaches that have played in the league. It's really important that we have former players who've been in the league, who've played in the playoffs, who know how to develop players, who know what it's like to be a star. So we would welcome that opportunity if people wanted to stay. At the same time, he's as everyone knows, he's an extremely competitive person, and you can obviously speak to him directly, but right now I believe he would love to continue playing. So want to obviously help him any way we can, but when the day he decides to stop playing, there's always a friendly face and the door's open for him at Columbus Crew SC.
Did he express to you that he wanted to keep playing here, Tim?
He did.
What were the factors that made you guys feel comfortable moving on from Federico?
Well, there's a number of factors. First is how we want to play, in terms of our ability to be relentless on the defensive end in terms of pressing and the ability to press and counter press. Offensively, it's how we want to move the ball up the field, and then some of the targets that we have in place for next season and how they work together as a group with our current roster. So, and then I have to say that there is you cannot forget about the injury and the age of a player. That has to factor into future roster planning, just like it does for every single player in the roster. Pipa is no different. So when you look at it, you gotta look at all the factors. We've tried to create a decision-making process for him ever since the injury took place, where we evaluated the pros and the cons, and we discussed it, we debated it, we argued about it, and we felt like at the end of the day, this is the best decision for the club.